Hey guys, Dani here, and welcome to my little corner of the internet, and happy Vlogmas! Today we're going to talk about choosing the right place to start your music career. Coming up. A few days ago, I made a video about how the music industry should be more like a community and less like a competition. And part of helping yourself create that more community environment is actually choosing the right place to start and launch your music career. There are many factors to consider when choosing the correct place to start your career. As many of us are aware, the major music hubs are Nashville, LA, and sometimes New York. And a ton of singers, songwriters, performers, entertainers in general tend to flock to these places in order to start their careers. But sometimes these might not be the best places to go. For example, if you're an American and you really want to get a leg up in, let's say, the Canadian market of the music industry, you may consider actually moving to Canada to start and launch your career. This is because here in Canada we have something called the CRTC. This is basically the Canadian Radio, Television, Telecommunications Commission. They basically control all of the content that is coming in and out of Canada and regulates it. One of their stipulations, particularly in the pop music market, is that at least 35% of all songs played on pop radio stations need to be Canadian content. So in order to make it Canadian, you actually have to be Canadian. But in accordance to this law, you are technically considered a Canadian in this section of the law if you live in Canada for a certain period of time. 35% is a lot of content, and it can really give yourself a boost in the charts and on recognition and radio play, especially if you're first setting out. What's also awesome about this law is that because you just have to be Canadian to fit into this 35%, you have artists like Len & Stella, who now lives in Nashville and just released her very first EP, but because she was born in Canada, she is Canadian, which means she could get a lot more radio play here in Canada than she normally would. On a more local level, choosing the right city is also very important. For example, here in Canada, the two major entertainment cities are Toronto and Vancouver, which is where a majority of people tend to flock to. The problem is, because they are such meccas for everyone coming, you're not only competing with all of the people who were born and raised here, but actually everyone who's coming in as well. Growing up here in Toronto, yes, I got a lot more opportunities because there were more concerts coming here, a lot of programming is done here, there are festivals, volunteer opportunities all within the city, which is a great advantage, but like I said, there's a lot of people here, which means that as much as, yes, everyone in the music industry, for the most part, is very kind, you can only meet and talk to so many people. You can only get so many people to come to your show when there are 10 or 20 or 30 shows of, lesser known artists happening in the city all at once. I had the opportunity to spend a lot of time in Hamilton over the past couple of years, and I've actually noticed that Hamilton is, for me, in my opinion, a much better city to kind of launch music in because it's smaller, the community of Hamilton musicians is smaller, they are so friendly, you are able to create a more organic audience much faster because whereas in Toronto there might be 30 shows, in Hamilton there might be 10. And if you are driving to Hamilton from Toronto when there isn't a whole bunch of traffic, so like rush hour periods, you can get there in less than an hour. So what's important to remember is, as much as having the best music that you can possibly make to launch your career in the moment is important, being strategic on how you launch and where you launch your musical career can just give you that extra boost that could be the difference between being super successful in the future and maybe fading into obscurity. So it's just something to think about. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to get daily music content from now until December 24th. I will see you tomorrow. Bye.